Hi there, I'm Lara Park. I'm a coach, a counsellor and an emotional intelligence practitioner. Over the next coming weeks I'm going to talk about how we sabotage ourselves when it comes to goal setting. And I think many people have already given up on goals, and it's usually because they sabotage themselves and they haven't really managed to make as much progress as they had really hoped. And then there's those who are still setting goals, but they are disappointing themselves. So I'd like to delve in a little bit deeper into what are the things that actually land up sabotaging our goals. And today I'm going to talk about the first one, which is impatience. Now, as we know, everything takes time. And there's actually a universal law that states that everything takes time, and it's called the law of gestation. So when you plant a seed, you don't just suddenly get this flower popping out the ground. You've got to water it, you've got to make sure it has the right nutrients, and then eventually it will start to germinate and pop out the ground. And it's very, very much the same with our goals. So when we're setting our goals, number one is going to take patience. Give it time to follow the steps needed in order to get to your goal. Make sure you're being realistic about those steps. All of us would love to set a goal today, and by tomorrow we've achieved this goal. I mean, how amazing would that be? Life would also become pretty boring, because what would we make our lives up with if we've achieved all our goals already? So often just the process of goal setting and the process that we follow in order to get to that goal has so much meaning on its own. So I'd like to suggest that when you are setting your goals, be realistic about the amount of time that it's going to take for you to achieve those goals. Have milestones along the way, so that at each milestone you can acknowledge that you've come that far, that you are making progress. And that's just going to help on the patience factor to get you to achieving that goal. So bear this in mind when you are having those impatient days as well, to distract yourself. Work a little bit more on those goals. Revisit them maybe and just see, does something maybe need to be tweaked? But goals definitely do take patience. And of course, some will come to fruition sooner than others. And that's why we always look at sort of short-term, medium-term, long-term goals, because then we've already got that mindset about what sort of time frame we're looking at. And of course, this also feeds into the SMART goal setting process. And if you don't know about the SMART goal setting process, I'm sure I've done that somewhere along the line, but I'll quickly run through it. So your S stands for being specific. Your M stands for being measurable. Okay, so those would be those check-in points. How far have I come? Am I on target? Then you would have A, which is your attainable. Is this attainable? Okay. Then we have R for being realistic. Is it realistic? If you are a couch potato and you'd like to be able to run a 20k or a 10k run, is it realistic to expect from yourself to hit the road tomorrow and you're already doing that kind of distance? So be realistic about your goals. You can always adjust them along the way. If you find that you're coping a lot better than you thought you would, you can always bring that forward. And then of course we have T for time frame. Give it a time frame. Make sure that you have a time frame. Without a time frame, that goal can stretch a lifetime. So we don't really want that to be happening either. So that's the SMART process. There are different processes that you can use, but I think most people use the SMART goal setting process, and it is very effective. Okay, so give that some thought, and I will be back with some more sabotaging points to ponder.